Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this great day, this beautiful day in Randolph County, North Carolina. Thank you for your presence today. I know you're all here excited about what this day holds. We've been at this process for about 10 years, and I want to say seriously, at no time have I ever thought or said this day will never get here. We have believed from day one that this would be a good project for our area, not just for Randolph County, but for all of the Piedmont Triad area and the state of North Carolina. And I think the excitement that it brings today is evidence of that. And we're glad to be a part of it. We've gone from possibilities to likelihoods to today we have reality. And we're here for a great announcement that will come a little bit later. As we go through this process today, you're going to hear two themes. One is it's a transformational project, and it truly is for this part of our state and our county. Families will have job opportunities. Our young families will have better job opportunities, and the family circle can remain in place, and grandparents won't have to drive so far to visit with the grandkids. The second thing that you're going to hear is we wouldn't be here today without. And there's any number of names that we can put in that blank space. And we're part of that. I want to personally recognize the Randolph County Board of Commissioners. We bought the first acre of land that you see in this site today. We had foresight to do that. And we believed, again, from day one, that we would have a good project here one day. And we do. And you'll know and hear more about that as we go through. And we have our commissioners here, David Allen, our vice chair, Kenny Kidd. I think Hope Haywood is here, Master McDowell. We have two of our former commissioners who were a part of that original board that voted to be involved in this process. Our chairman at that time, Harold Holmes, and Arnold Lanier is here. Sadly, we had two commissioners that were a part of that process and were bold enough to make that choice, Mr. Phil Kemp and Mr. Stan Haywood, who are no longer with us. But I would be remiss today to not recognize them for their involvement. And we're so glad that we have this opportunity to participate in this process today. I also want to speak to our owners group. As I said, Randolph County bought the first acre of land in this project, in this footprint that you see here today. We immediately picked up partners in that process. We formed the Randolph County Megasite the Greensboro-Randolph Megasite Foundation, and their funding came from the Bryan Foundation in Greensboro. Pretty soon we were joined by the North Carolina Railroad. 2/3 of the property that's a part of this footprint of almost 1,900 acres is owned and paid for by the North Carolina Railroad. We couldn't ask for a better partner than they have been, both of them have been in this process. We, of course, today are joined by the Governor of North Carolina, Mr. Roy Cooper. Glad to have him with us. And Michelle Sanders, who is the Secretary of the North Carolina Department of Commerce. And I'll just run through these right quick, but our U.S. delegation, Senator Burr, Senator Tillis, Congressman Ted Budd, they've all been a part of this process, helping us to navigate through jump through the hoops, so to speak. And our local representatives, Senator Dave Craven, Pat Hurley, Alan McNeil, been a part of this process. I'm so glad that we can move forward with that, and glad that we can have this part together today. And we also have the mayor of Greensboro, Nancy Vaughn. I will tell you, that's a partner we could not do without. They are providing the water and sewer to this project. So many have been a part of this process. North Carolina Department of Transportation, our community college system, Duke Energy, Piedmont Natural Gas, and it goes on and on. It's truly a transformational project put together by the efforts of a lot of people. I'm glad to be a part of that process. I'm glad to welcome each one of you here today, and we will begin with the other speakers on the platform, and it's a pleasure for me to introduce Michelle Sanders, the North Carolina Secretary of Commerce.
Good afternoon to all of you, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. Indeed, this has been a partnership and a collaboration, and I'd say North Carolina working in our special way and its best. And so thank you to all of you who have contributed to this meaningful and special day. I'd say a special thank you to my partner, Chris Chung, who is CEO of the Economic Development Partnership, who's here today. Thank you so much for your significant contributions as well. We are thrilled by the news the governor is about to share with all of us. Yes, it's meaningful for many reasons. In a moment, you'll hear about new jobs, which will mean a lot to families. You'll hear about new investment, which will mean a lot to community and will grow this community stronger and more vibrant. And you'll hear about new products that will be made here, which means that we will all enjoy a healthier environment. And that, I think, we all can appreciate and be glad of. Indeed? Great. But you know, there's something I find particularly meaningful that you're hearing and you will continue to hear today. Today, North Carolina is demonstrating once again the power of working together, the power of collaboration across counties, across the state, across the entire sector. Let me tell you, this crowd right here behind me today knows how to get things done, and the crowd in front of me knows how to get things done. For CEOs already doing business in our state, our style and collaboration needs no explanation. It's the North Carolina way, as I said previously. With today's decision, another world-class company has taken notice of the way we do things, has taken notice of our assets, which of course includes especially our people and the talent. The company we celebrate today could have gone anywhere in the world, but they chose North Carolina to call home. Our welcoming and collaborative reputation is well known in the business world. This approach develops a dependable workforce that companies can rely on. And as the state's new strategic plan for economic development makes clear, to succeed in today's business world, we know that North Carolina must be first in talent, not just first in flight. The leadership you see here today cares deeply about the people of our North Carolina and of our state, about bolstering our resiliency, about prioritizing workforce readiness, and we care deeply about bringing good paying jobs to this state, great state of North Carolina. We are all committed to ensuring North Carolinians have every opportunity to live healthy, happy, and prosperous lives. And that's our state's motto, if you will, during this period of time as we work through all of our economic development projects. We're also committed to and working that North Carolina is a state that works for all people. I appreciate the leadership of our governor for his vision and for leading us towards a better, more inclusive future. Thank you, Governor, for your service and your leadership with this project and with everything else that we have going on in the state. So now, let's hear the announcement that we've all been waiting for. At this time, Governor Roy Cooper. Thank you.
This project is going forward regardless of whether this tent gets blown down today. Thank you, Secretary Sanders, for your leadership and for that introduction. Senator Berger, Speaker Moore, all of the local government officials, all of the legislators, and the people who've worked so hard to bring this together, I want to thank you. And I want to welcome those who are watching around the world right now. We are coming to you from the greatest state in the United States of America, just so you know. Today, we are opening another important chapter in North Carolina's economic story. From the Wright brothers' first flight to life-saving medicines at the Research Triangle Park, we have been a state of firsts, partnering with industries to develop new ideas that really do change people's lives. Good things come to those who wait. And today we announce that Toyota will invest $1.29 billion for its first automobile battery manufacturing plant right here in the Greensboro-Randolph Megasite in the greatest state of North Carolina. This new chapter we're writing today is one of clean energy transportation. Electric vehicle and hybrid batteries will be produced here at Toyota Battery Manufacturing of North Carolina. They will be for the cleaner cars of today and tomorrow. And we hope in the future everything that goes around the battery will be part of this as well. We have charted our course here in North Carolina for a clean energy future and the great jobs that come along with it. Already, we've set the course to eliminate carbon emissions in power generation with Executive Order 80 and House Bill 951, and now we are charting the course for cleaner transportation. We're increasing our infrastructure, charge stations. We're bringing more electric buses online in public transportation. Thank you, Greensboro. Thank you, Mayor. We're encouraging more electric vehicles on the road and in our state government fleet. And as all of this progress continues, the world will look at North Carolina as a hub of clean energy and clean energy jobs. As the Secretary said, Toyota could have chosen anywhere in the United States for this first battery plant, and they chose us. And we need to show them that our commitment is great to this well-trained workforce that was a driving force behind their presence here. We need to make those education investments from cradle to career. And we need to stick the promise that we've all made that we're going to have 2 million more adult North Carolinians with post-secondary degrees or credentials in the next decade, because that is the well-trained workforce we need. And Chris, we are going to keep our commitment to clean energy in North Carolina for the sake of our planet and for the sake of our economy. There are way too many people to thank here. I do want to mention all of the legislature. We've worked well, Republicans and Democrats in the legislature and my office on economic development projects. There are a long list of things that we've worked on together, and I'm grateful for that partnership here. Our community colleges and universities are key to this, and we're grateful to all of them, particularly the local ones here. Our Department of Commerce, Secretary Sanders and Chris Chung and Gene McLaurin and the team at the Economic Development Partnership of North Carolina, along with the Department of Transportation, Department of Environmental Quality, and the Department of Military and Veterans Affairs, all taking part in this. The North Carolina Railroad, the North Carolina Japan Center, Duke Energy and Piedmont Natural Gas, Norfolk Southern, the Golden Leaf Foundation, Piedmont Triad International Airport, and all of the local economic developers in Greensboro, Guilford County, Randolph County. I talked to so many people over so many years about this, and we're particularly grateful for the Piedmont Triad Partnership and the Greensboro Chamber and Jim Melvin and the Greensboro-Randolph Megasite Foundation. You're going to hear from him in a moment. But there are a lot of people who came together to get this done. Now, the man of the hour. I want to introduce to you the Chief Administrative Officer for Toyota Motor North America, Chris Reynolds. Chris? So, Chris, let me present to you a piece of fine china made here in North Carolina with the seal of the great state of North Carolina, with our motto, Esse quam videri, which means to be rather than to seem. And we want you to know that you're going to be our partner in this venture going forward, and we welcome you to the state of North Carolina.
Thank you, Governor. Thank you so much. Governor, don't sit down. You know, at Toyota, we don't come empty-handed. So we would like to present to you, Governor, and to your team, and to everyone here in North Carolina, this representation made out of solid aluminum, which represents one of our cars, one of our race cars, the number 21 on the side for 2021. But here's something that you may or may not know. We're already here in North Carolina through the Toyota Racing and Development Team. Our president, Mr. Wilson's here from that. And so we just wanted to let you know that just like this car is racing into the future and going to win, our partnership with you is going to win as well. So, Governor.
On behalf of the NASCAR-loving state of North Carolina, I will accept this on behalf of the state and realize that we got to get better gifts. Thanks.
We believe in a gift for each hand. So the other gift we'd love to present to you is this representation of one of the batteries that we intend to build right here at this site. Again, as a memento and thank you.
Thank you very much.
For everything that you've done. Thank you, Governor. Well, hello, neighbor. How y'all doing? I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for joining us. Being here sort of gives away the surprise, but I'm excited to officially announce on behalf of not only Toyota Motor North America, but Toyota Motor Corporation globally, we will be building our brand new, very first battery manufacturing plant in the U.S. right here in Randolph County in the great state of North Carolina. Even the good Lord wants to bless us with that, with some dust. Now, you know, today marks only the beginning of a long and mutually beneficial partnership and strong relationship with the Tar Heel State. And by the way, as I learned yesterday, Speaker, we're not just partners, we're family. We're family, and we're glad to be a part of the North Carolina family. Today also is a major step forward for Toyota in our quest to achieve carbon neutrality while providing mobility for all. Now, some of you may remember, about a month ago, we announced that Toyota would invest $13.5 billion globally to usher in a new era of battery electrification, with $3.4 billion of that amount committed here in the U.S. Well, let's do the math. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we'll invest $1.29 billion through 2031 to establish the new battery plant called Toyota Battery Manufacturing North Carolina. This investment, which I believe is so far the largest private capital investment in North Carolina history, Madam Secretary, is that right? Will create at least 1,750 new jobs and help us develop and localize automotive battery production, which will pave the way for battery electric vehicles built here in the United States of America. Yeah, that's worth it. Now, production will begin in 2025 with the aim of delivering 1.2 million battery packs per year, and that's just the beginning. We couldn't think of a better location for this new plant, and we chose North Carolina for several reasons. I want to give you five, one for each finger on a hand. Now, number one, it has an extensive and well-maintained highway and railway system. Thank you, Mr. Warren. Thank you. Number two, 4 international airports and 2 seaports. We're going to need them. Number three, it's consistently ranked as one of the top U.S. states for doing business. And number four, it has a world-renowned education system. Can I pause here, by the way? I've only been in town for less than 24 hours, and already I've been asked, who do I declare for? Is it the Aggies? Is it the Tar Heels? Is it the Blue Devils? Is it the Wolfpack? Help me out. I guess I'll figure it out later, Governor. Boy, passionate. But most important, North Carolina has an outstanding and diverse workforce, one we intend not only to hire from, but also train and develop so that our children, your children, can have great jobs right here in North Carolina. These 5 strengths will help Toyota remain a global leader in electrified vehicles. Now, did you know Toyota has sold more than 19.1 million alternative powertrain vehicles globally, 4.8 million here in North America, thanks to our dealers and distributors, some of whom, by the way, are here with us today. Let me just take a moment. Our Toyota dealers, any in the audience? If so, please stand or raise your hand. There you go. There you go. I want everybody to go and buy a Toyota. They're the folks that you can buy them from. I'm just saying. All right. Now, that's more than any other automaker combined. And right now in the U.S., we have 17 Toyota and Lexus electrified vehicles, which account for almost 25% of our total sales. By 2030, we expect that number to go up to nearly 70%. Now, put another way, we expect to sell about 1.5 million to 1.8 million electrified vehicles, including zero emissions vehicles. Why am I giving you all these figures? I want you to know the future looks bright for this site in North Carolina. This plant will help Toyota reach our aggressive carbon reduction goals. Our carbon reduction strategy stretches across our entire business, from our great vehicles, like you know them, the Prius, the RAV4 Hybrid, the Highlander Hybrid, to the manufacturing process, from our suppliers to our logistics and supply chain, from our facilities to our 1,500 dealerships. We are even partnering with renewable energy providers to generate solar and wind power to directly contribute to regional grids. We're leaving no stone unturned to have a positive impact on the environment and the society. This venture right here in Randolph County, gets us one giant step closer to that positive impact. Now, you know, it was 4 years ago that the North Carolina leadership stood together to promote this great site to us. And by the way, Beth Friedrich and Madam Secretary, they never let us forget that it was 4 years ago. Good things come to those who wait, you know, second time around. There are all sorts of songs that talk about the second time around. But it was really due to the North Carolina leadership's enthusiasm, perseverance, cooperation across party lines, and perseverance that we're here today. I also want to give a shout out not only to that great North Carolina leadership team led by the people on this dais, But I also want to give a personal thank you to the Toyota team that worked with North Carolina to make this happen. In fact, I would ask all my Toyota family to please stand so everyone can see you and give you a round of applause. I also want to specifically thank the Governor, Roy Cooper, Senator Berger, Speaker Moore, Secretary Sanders, along with many other state and local government officials, too many to name, and many of the business leaders here today in North Carolina for your partnership to make this a reality. Now, I want all of you to please keep an eye and an ear out for more updates on this exciting new venture for Toyota here in the US of A. I'm trying to be as clear as I can. This is only the first chapter of our story in North Carolina. And it's a very long book. Once this new battery plant becomes operational, it'll mark three important things. One, our long-standing commitment to the great state of North Carolina and good American jobs. Number two, our long-standing commitment to providing mobility for all. And number three, our long-standing commitment to drive on the path more quickly to carbon neutrality. North Carolina, you are now a key part of each of those commitments. You're embedded in our long-standing commitments, not just to the state of North Carolina, but to the United States of America. And I'd like to say the best is yet to come. Thank you, everybody, and have a great North Carolina Day. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So I get to follow that. I'm Phil Berger. I'm the President Pro Tem of the North Carolina Senate. You know, these things don't just happen. And I think it was really important that it's been mentioned several times 4 years ago. Because 4 years ago, we came away disappointed. Yet, Toyota sat down and talked with us after that happened. And a lot of things that have taken place since then till now resulted in now taking place. So, Governor, thank you for what you've done. Madam Secretary, thank you. Chris, thank you for what you and Toyota have done. Speaker Moore, thank you. You know, the one person who always believed that this was going to take place is right there, Jim Melvin. So, what else can I say but thank you, Toyota. Thank you, Governor. Thank you, everyone that had anything to do with this. North Carolina is the best place to live, to work, to raise a family. Toyota recognizes that. Scores of companies every day, thousands of individuals every day are voting with their feet and recognizing the same thing. Toyota's just got started. We've just got started in North Carolina. I want to thank everybody for being here today.
Well, good afternoon. I saw a number of our colleagues in the legislature I wanted to recognize who are here. If you'll stand when I call you, Representative Pat Hurley, Representative Alan McNeil, Representative Robert Reeves, Representative John Hardister, Representative John Faircloth, and I believe Senator Craven's over there hiding in the back as well. I want to thank you all for being here. These folks were a key part of seeing that this legislation passed the General Assembly this year and worked so hard. So I want to thank you guys for the hard work y'all did. Governor, Madam Secretary, thank you for your hard work in making sure that this deal came through. You know, the North Carolina story is one of success, but it's one of collaboration, it's one of bipartisanship, it's one of working across this entire great state. It was mentioned about the 4 years ago when we came up short, but where we learned from that were the things that Toyota was looking for. But what Toyota learned was that really this was the great place to be located, and you guys worked and came back, and we're really grateful for that. Last night we had the chance to break bread and talk a little bit about this exciting project and seeing the number of jobs that are going to be created not only here at this facility, but just imagine all the ancillary jobs that are going to be there. Can you imagine 10 years from now what this area is going to look like, what this region is going to look like, and the continued growth, how it's going to be a benefit to Randolph County, how it's going to be such a benefit to Greensboro. We're going to see this growing and building and continuing to improve. This is indeed one of those transformative projects. I can tell you that when the governor and when the secretary came to me and came to Senator Berger and laid this out, it wasn't it was not a maybe, it was not let us think about it, it was like absolutely yes, what do we need to do to get there as a state? Everyone worked together in the General Assembly, we passed this overwhelmingly. This is an absolutely incredible day for North Carolina, and I think we're going to see these benefits for generations. You know, there are times in public service that you wonder if something's going to make a difference 1 year from now, 2 years from now. Everybody involved with this project, those of you in the community who are involved, those of you involved from the business side, those involved at the government side, know that this is a project that is going to make a difference for a lifetime. This is going to be employing folks for generations to come, and it's going to be doing so much to continue, Governor, as you say, the story that's being written about North Carolina. It's a great book, and definitely the best is yet to come. But I did have a small gift, and I got to say, my gifts aren't near as good as any of the others, Chris, but this is a proclamation from the North Carolina House of Representatives thanking Toyota and the leadership of your company and officially welcome you to North Carolina. And in answer to your question, Tar Heels.
Oh. Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. What a great day. My name is Carl Warren. I'm the president and CEO of the North Carolina Railroad Company. I'm proud to say that we joined the Greensboro-Randolph Megasite Foundation in Randolph County to assemble 2/3 of the nearly 1,900 acres that comprise this site. Our partnership then held, developed, and marketed the site with the primary goal of getting to where we are today. We really thought about three things. The first was partnership. We recognized that only by working with others could we achieve this audacious goal. We also recognized that it wasn't about making a buck or creating an industrial park. It was about driving a transformation. And that is exactly what we are at the very beginning of today. And finally, this is a competitive business. And getting this site to where it is was very much about creating a competitive advantage for our state. So we're very proud to join so many others in welcoming North Carolina's newest major employer. We're delighted. And thank you for trusting our team to deliver a site that makes North Carolina a foundation for your future success. I wanted to make you aware, though, beyond the groups of folks that we've been naming so far, that there were some other folks, and I want to sort of pull back the curtain a little bit on some of the team that was deep in the guts of this project from the very beginning, just to give you a sense for the breadth and depth of it all. First off, I'd like to recognize Scott Saylor, former president of the North Carolina Railroad. He's right there. Without he and Richard Wiley, it would have been tough to get a start. They screened the sites, they figured out where they wanted to be, and they helped find the right partners. In addition, the Railroad Board was not bashful about diving in either. Jim Nance, Tommy Glasgow, John Pike, as well as Michael Walters and Franklin Rouse. Fast forward a decade, and we're still at it. Nance and Glasgow, still in the game, and then Michael Fox from right here in Greensboro also has joined the fight. We also can't go past this without acknowledging our current board chair, Bill Bell, and the entire board of directors for their unwavering support for this vital project. If I turn to our staff, Anna Lee Moore is a name many of you may have heard. I don't believe Anna Lee has slept for 6 months. We remain optimistic that that will happen soon. Andrew Tate, my former colleague, now with Duke Energy, played a key role in keeping this project focused and keeping it moving. In addition to that, Taylor Fields, Cameron Kidd kept the property moving, and Christian Forslund, our GIS expert, was excellent in helping with the property matters. We've also been supported by fantastic advisors. Tom Blue with Ellison Winters, Vicki Miller with HDR, and Wendy Smith, our environmental consultant. We'd be nowhere without them. But you talk about nowhere without them, there's two names that I have to just stop and recognize. And I just think we just got to ask both these guys to stand up and take a little bit of applause. Jim, Daryl, do you mind? If you just stand up for a minute. Now, I will say this. Everyone's been thanking the hell out of our state leadership, so I'm just going to save time and say thank you to all of them at once. But our focus as North Carolina Railroad is on our sole shareholder, the state of North Carolina. Like the state, we are in it to win it. And like many big land development projects, this 10-year overnight success represents much more than all the money and time that brought us to where we are today. Shared success is achieved with a relentless focus on partnership. NCRR is grateful for our partners and all that our bond has created. Now let's just see what we can uncover next. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and you need another presentation like you need a hole in the head, but I would like to recognize Kathy Manning as our Congress lady and stand up. We're glad to have you here. I'd also like to ask Don Flo to stand up because 10 years ago, he and I and Rick Hendrick went down to call on the then governor and told him that the reason we don't have an advanced automobile manufactured related plant, and for two reasons. One, we don't have a site, and that site's not ready. And two, you haven't been competitive in the incentives. And so y'all have taken care of that in big time. I would also like to say that there's a guy in the audience, David Joseph, stand up, and his colleague is not here. But what I found out the next day, that there were 92 property owners that owned this site, and most of them didn't want to sell. And so we had to buy market price all of that property, and we did. Now, there are two other people that I'd like to recognize. Meredith, where are you? Are you here? Stand up, Meredith, and your colleague. I can't see with these lights, but we want to thank y'all. You promised us that you, after 17, you would bring us another prize, and here they are. And Chris, thank you very much. Now, we got too many to take the time to recognize them, but there are two young ladies that I like to recognize because we've got two of the best environmental engineers in the country working on this project. And Vicki Miller and Wendy, stand up. Where is Vicki? Is Vicki here? Well, God bless them. I'd also like to quickly recognize, there goes the dust, but I'd quickly like to recognize the Bryan Board. Stand up. 10 years ago, they have agreed, and Shirley Fry is our chair, and they agreed that we needed this, and every question on funding was yes. And I want to tell you, this is a hole in the ground you pour money in, and I want to say that. But in closing, I don't have time to recognize everybody, but I've always felt that service for other people was the best work of life. And what we're doing today is making it possible for lots of people We're affecting people way off in the future about working for one of the best corporations in the world. And that's very important. Now, there are two other quick things that I'd like to do. You've recognized the North Carolina Railroad. Well, I want to talk about vision for a moment. Back in 1849, and I think that was the date, John Motley Moorhead, who was the then governor of this state, created the North Carolina Railroad. And he created it with a resource of owning 100 miles of the main line of the Southern Railroad, and that's where their money comes from to cause good economic development all over this state. And we need to say, John Motley Moorhead, thank you very much. And the last person I would like to introduce, and I know he's proud, and I know he's looking today, Joe Bryan. Joe Bryan left his entire state to our community because he worried about us staying in the economic mainstream. And thanks to you, Chris, we're not only in the mainstream, we're ahead of it. So I want to thank y'all. I'd also just say that it's been a lot of pressure, but I'm sort of like the guy who bought milking machines for his cows back when they first started, and he hooked them up and he forgot about them. And they came back and there was this cow laying on this floor, and there was milk all over everywhere. And he said, well, how is that cow? And she looked up and said, I'm proud, but I'm so pooped. Thank you very much.
I want to say good afternoon. I am so pleased to be here. I am Greensboro Mayor Nancy Fawn, and I would like to recognize my city council colleagues if they could stand and be recognized. I also know there are a number of people here from the county commissioners. I see Commissioner Skip Alston. If they would like to stand, this would not have been possible without their support as well. I also notice that I see Senator Michael Garrett and Representative Ashton Clemens in the audience, and thank you for being here. I am going to recognize a lot of people because I know what happens when I don't. So I want to thank our city leadership. City Manager Chris Wilson has worked day and night for the last few weeks to make this a reality. Assistant City Managers Kim Sowell and Larry Davis, Water Resources Director Mike Borchers and Assistant Director Christine Williams, our legal staff Chuck Watts and Al Andrews, our Guilford County Workforce Development Director Chris Rivera, and Marshall Yandel, our Economic Development Manager, our Engineering and Planning Departments, and former city managers Jim Westmoreland and David Parrish, and former Water Resources Director Steve Drew, and former Mayor Robbie Perkins. It's been 10 years. There are a lot of fingerprints on this project. And I want to thank Toyota for entrusting us with this very important project. We appreciate the faith in the Greensboro-Randolph Megasite and our ability to deliver. We won't let you down. I am proud that you have chosen this site. Your confidence sends a strong message about our region throughout the entire globe. There are many heroes in this project. Earlier, I watched the Randolph County Commissioners approve their incentive package for this project. I want to thank them and Chair Fry for their leadership and bravery. People will remember this day, but they may not remember how hard it was to get there. And I know that the road for you wasn't always easy. And just for the record, Chris, Commissioner Fry and I both drive Toyota Highlanders. So. I Today, the mayors of Liberty and Ashboro expressed their unqualified support, and I would like to add my voice to their words. Many others from Randolph County business community spoke about the importance of this project and the transformational impact it would have for generations to come. And of course, a big thank you goes to Jim Melvin and the Bryan Foundation for their dedication and commitment to bring better jobs to our region, better wages, better benefits. Mr. Melvin had a vision of a high-impact project, and he built relationships to make this a reality. He was dedicated to providing our region with high-quality jobs. He never took his eye off the goal, and I know that this announcement will fulfill those goals, a goal that everyone here can rally around. This was not an overnight success. It took planning and leaders who were willing to take a calculated risk. Today's announcement proved that the city's targeted investments in water and sewer have paid off. We planned for this announcement years ago, and that was said earlier, we were confident that it was only when, not if. A special thank you to the Greensboro Chamber President Brent Christensen, Marvin Price, and your staff. I know the many hours that you have spent negotiating and coordinating the partnerships with the NC Railroad, the Golden Leaf Foundation, Duke Energy, Piedmont Natural Gas, GTCC, Randolph Community College, NCDOT, the state's Economic and Commerce departments, and a special thank you to our legislators for providing the economic assistance to this worthwhile project. Thank you all. The story behind this megasite will be told often. It is a story of partnerships. It is a story of regional success. It's a story of taking a calculated risk and being willing to lead. We know that there are many chapters yet to be written. Thank you to Toyota for being part of this story, and we look forward to a long and prosperous relationship.
All right. We want to thank all of our presenters, our participants today. As I open the meeting today, and now I've had the advantage of sitting here and listening to all these other presenters, I want my Randolph County Commissioners to please stand and be recognized. County Manager, Hal, stand please. Bob Crumley, and I think I saw Scott Dard. I see Scott here. They're from our Economic Development Board. Harold and Arnold, I meant for you to stand with these guys. These are the two of our original board when we got involved in this process. Mayor York from Liberty. Now, one other name, a couple of these have been mentioned, one has not. I want to mention today, I said at the start, we wouldn't be here if it was not for three names. Mr. Kevin Franklin, who's the president of the Randolph County Economic Development Corporation. Step in here, Kevin. Where's Brent Christensen? Brent? Greensboro Chamber, where's Brent? He's way back in the back. And Anna Lee Moore from the North Carolina Railroad. They drove the bus, but Anna Lee was driving. But we truly wouldn't be here without their vision and their efforts. I said at our meeting this morning, there were times they didn't know when one day ended and another one started. And that's the reason we're all here today, is because of the work of these three people keeping us focused and in the process. So we're ready to wrap some things up, but Chris, if you'd come forward for just a moment. Chris, there's about 1,900 acres of dirt out there
Yeah.
that's going to be moved.
I think one of the acres is already here, but
This is good old Randolph County
oh wow.
soil from our Seagrove pottery. Mr. David Fernandez, the mayor of Seagrove,
Wow.
has made this gift available for you today.
Thank you.
And please take it in the sense that it's presented to you, and the future we've just begun.
Thank you so much. Thank you. What I like about it is it's Toyota red. So thank you so much.
Okay, to all of our presenters, Governor, Ms. Sanders, Speaker, thank you. Mr. President, Mr. Senator Berger, thank you. My co-owners, thank all of you. There's many out in the audience that played a part in us getting to this point today. Thank you for being here to celebrate with